Hi you guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Hiysta and thank you so much for coming along. On today's episode we are building the habitat for the meerkats today, that really tiny cute little creature that likes to stare at you, pop its head out of holes and smile at you at the same time. Now I wanted to build a habitat that was probably more realistic in terms of its size. I didn't want to build something really large like I did for the Phoenix foxes. That was like almost a new planet for them. It was huge. You couldn't even see them in the habitat. So for these I wanted to build them a nice little compact area so the guests can come along, have a nice little walk in, see them, and then come back out and go see the larger animals. Because that's kind of what you do when you're in a zoo. You kind of go and you see the meerkats. You normally get the big glass panels where you can't really climb over and the kids can't do anything. They can just lick the glass and stare into it. So it's gonna be like that. It's just gonna be a little side thing when you go off and see them. Now I wanted to obviously make this like as I say realistic as possible, but I'm sticking with a theme where we're kind of building in an area that's got like a really old ruins, like buildings there, old house styles, like there's loads of old bricks, temple, like Egyptian old structures that are just there that have been left over like 1,000 years. And they've just been worn down, but the humans have come in, they've built a zoo in the area, they've used the actual broken walls and stuff and buildings. So that's the kind of theme I'm going for here. And I tried to continue that on in this build as well. Now when I was building this, I put the barrier around. I don't actually think I recorded that bit when I placed the actual barrier, but as I was putting the barrier down, you'll see a part where I build a door that goes backs onto the larger building, and I use it as a starting point for the habitat. And as I built that and went round, I realised that I built like another wall inside the building. So I had like another segment where you could go through, and it was like a cut-off point. So then the meerkats would be let through the other side, and you're like a little tiny open staff area at the back. But because I put the gate at the front, when I let the meerkats out, they were all inside of this little tiny area. Like literally, I think it was like the size of 2 squares. For like a floor piece, and there was about 13 or 15 of them all there, and I was like, what have I done? They're not moving. So I had to move the whole barrier again and put it into the middle to make sure that when the guests, when the staff come in and drop the meerkats in, they put them in actually into the habitat and not hiding behind the walls, because I kind of didn't think about that at the time. Now it's not going to be obviously a very long episode. It's quite a small episode because it's quite a small habitat as well, and there's kind of there's only so much you can really do. I mean, I'm thinking because I'm used to the style and the design I'm going through, where I'm using that ruins theme. I'm not building like huge structures or making really modern architecture stuff or anything like that. So it's kind of just using the old temple pieces to kind of use that as the base of what I'm building. So instead of me just kind of cutting off now and playing you some really bad music that you might not even like, I thought I might read you some facts about meerkats, and I've got this from the National Geographic channel. It's got underneath kids, so this is for kids. I'm going to read it anyway. It seems quite informative, so I'll read it out to you guys and see. Yeah, it's just something to listen to instead of music for once. So meerkats live in the desert and grasslands of the southern tip of Africa. They are super cute with bushy brown striped fur, a small pointed face, and large eyes surrounded by dark patches. A bit like me after a long night out. They average about 50 centimeters long, including their tail. These extremely social animals live together in burrows, which they dig with their long, sharp claws. Living underground keeps mob members safe from predators and out of the harsh African heat. These burrows can be up to 5 meters long and contain multiple entrances, tunnels and rooms. A group will use up to 5 separate burrows at a time. That's theoretically a mansion. It's got 5 rooms. Meerkats only go outside during the daytime. Each morning as the sun comes up, the mob emerges and begins looking for food. They use their keen sense of smell to locate their favourite foods, which include beetles, caterpillars, spiders and scorpions. Everything my wife hates. They also eat small reptiles, birds, eggs, fruits and plants. Back at the burrow, several babysitters stay behind to watch over the newborn pups. This duty rotates through different members of the mob, and a sitter will often go all day without food. The babysitter's main job is to protect pups from meerkats in rival mobs, who, if given the chance, will kill the babies. Now that's absolutely awful. Like, I've read and heard about that before, that the like opposite tribes or the mobs will come along and kill the babies, but it's awful. But I can see like the instinct or why they do it, because you would think, well, if you kill the babies of the mob, then they haven't got that next generation to continue that growth for that mob. So I can kind of see why they do that. Now, while the rest of the mob forages for food, one of the meerkats, or sometimes more, called a sentry, will find a high point, like a termite mound, and perch on it with its back legs. From here it can scan the skies and desert for predators such as eagles, hawks and jackals. A sentry who senses danger will let out a high-pitched squeal, sending the mob scrambling for cover. Meerkats dig safe places called bolt holes throughout their foraging area where they hide in an emergency. I read that wrong, sorry. But if caught in the open by a predator, a meerkat will try to look fierce, laying on its back and showing its teeth and claws. If a group is confronted, the meerkats will stand together, arching their back, raising their hair and hissing. This sometimes fools an attacker into thinking they are a single large vicious animal. Meerkats are abundant throughout their range and are not considered threatened or endangered, but they live a very difficult life in the African desert, constantly threatened by hungry predators, rival meerkats, droughts and burrow floodings by rainstorms. Well, there you go guys, just spread out some National Geographic facts for kids. So there you go guys. No, I think with that note, I will leave it there guys. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, hope you don't mind me yabbling a little bit too much, and hopefully I will see you in the next episode. So thanks so much for coming along, and I shall catch you very soon. See you later, bye bye.
Put love on them.